All right, you want to talk about best boys?
Yeah.
My best boy is Castlevania Nocturne.
Oh, season 2 trailer.
Season 2 trailer. And the season 2 is coming out April?
Oh, thank God. Thank God not soon.
You thought it was going to be... Wait, Nocturne? It actually might be January.
There's no... Dude, I'm so sick of shit coming out.
What do you mean?
Squid Game season 2 is coming out.
Who gives up January 16th? Nocturne season 2. Let's fucking go. What? Are we reacting to Squid Game season 2?
I probably should. Everyone's gonna be doing content on it. If you don't do content on Squid Games, it'll be insane.
Because that's what everyone
Squid
wants.
Games was the biggest thing ever.
What the fuck do people want from me and big Squid Games? Look, anime like Squid Games?
Power rank the games.
I just gave myself a video. Power rank the games. Like by survivability?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Does it turn out that I actually earned my 800,000 growth over the past year?
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a bad idea for somebody else.
If you do it mathematically, what's the cheat to all the games? Are they just doing the games again? I don't even know what season 2 is.
Here's the thing. God, I hope so. I really do hope so. I hope it's not just like this fucking sprawling story of them trying to catch the guys out. Give me more games.
It definitely might be. They could go 2 routes. They could go I was gonna say the Hunger Games. The Hunger Games kind of pulled it off.
Did the games again.
Yeah.
And then everyone,
while doing the revolution.
Yeah, and then the third one was not the games, but it was kind of the games because it was just
the city's the game.
Yeah, the city was the game. So it was
But it's a part of me is man, it'll definitely just be a cheap knockoff for money if they're just it's a new batch of games. But at the same time, I'm that's really the only reason I'd watch is to see more games.
That's the thing. It's just play the hits, Sometimes, and listen, they're obviously a very talented cast and crew there, so it would probably be good regardless of what they did.
Yeah.
But I want the games.
Yeah.
No. If at the end of the season I was that was it's because you pulled it too far. It's too extended. You're too far back, Dan.
You know what is? Oh, no one can hear me. You know what's weirdly great about Skid Game Season 1?
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen it?
Yes, obviously.
Weirdly, great fighting.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Weirdly incredible.
Choreography is great.
There's a bit.
Danny, bend the arm.
I am.
There we go.
Weirdly,
for those of you just listening, Danny's having the most Mike arm struggles of all time right now.
I just get it right. I'm all right, and then just bops me in the eye.
He's fucking bitch, don't touch me there.
But it there's a bit in one of the early episodes where a dude just throws another dude in a car and just starts stabbing him in the stomach, and it's the best stabbing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's Squid Game content to be had. It'll be the biggest thing ever. Mr. Beast is gonna be yumming on it.
It's Mr. Beast. I'm an anime content creator, right, Danny? I tried to react to Don's and people didn't even watch it. All right, they're not gonna want me to hear me fucking talk about Squid Games.
I disagree.
All right, Mister, I get to talk about everything on the face of the goddamn earth because I'm a likable personality. When Nick fucking pigeonholed himself with a bunch of people who were I want to hear Nick yell about how people are wrong on the internet. I don't get to talk about everything, Danny.
I pigeon too. You have to just break out of the pigeon. Hasbin Hotel freed me from the pigeon.
Danny, I have 4 YouTube channels.
And they're all anime.
No, they're not. Kind of.
Well, kind of. Yes, literally.
Look at us. We're talking about Nocturne right now.
Talking about Squid Games and its content.
Yeah, I know. This is my out.
All right, fine.
This is me coming out of the closet.
How was the trailer? Did you watch it?
For Nocturne, it was fucking great. It was so goddamn good. It looked so sick. Listen, I don't know if anybody will be able to replace Trevor Belmont. But the MC, whose name, and this is kind of proving my point.
What are you doing? You summoning him?
No, the MC is slowly but surely growing on me because this motherfucker just equips hands and fights devils. And it looks so good. I'm gonna have to rewatch the entirety of season 1 because I do not remember what happened at all.
Castlevania is an interesting one. I'm interested to know if you agree about this. Castlevania. It feels like the actors got one note of direction from the director, and that was to whisper every single line. All of the actors,
been too long since I watched.
All of the actors in both Nocturne and regular Castlevania are always oh, and there's a vampire. Oh, well, maybe we'll just have to see about that.
It's because they're smoky.
Yeah, they're all just mumbling their lines.
Uh-huh.
Especially Trevor. He's when he's at the bar and they're are you a Belmont? Is that a Belmont crest? And he's hit me again and then maybe I'll remember. It's just he's so quiet.
Because he's fucking cool, dude. Cool people don't raise their voice. You know
I guess so.
As two incredibly quiet people, you should know that cool people do not raise their voice. That is kind of crazy that is coming out in January, because that now means that we are not only going to be watching Beastars, but we are also going to be watching Nocturne, Solo Leveling, and I'm going to be watching Dr. Stone. Sakamoto Days is coming out.
So much. I saw the trailer for Sakamoto Days, and I'm holding my reservations because I saw the trailer for Don Don. I was also like, animation's fine. Like nothing blowing me away. And the animation in this is great. I saw the Sakamoto Days trailer and I was like, it looks fine. Like, okay, animation. Maybe they surprise me.
From a story perspective, Sakamoto Days is just like kind of fun. It's like Kaiju. I think Sakamoto Days is going to be as popular as like Kaiju number 8. Where like it's going to happen. It's not going to be like the number 1. It's like not going to like, no one's going to be like, it's definitely not going to pass Solo Leveling. Like in Kaiju, I honestly think it might actually be less popular in Kaiju number 8 because it doesn't have like the manga's not as big, it doesn't have as much hype, but that may just because the anime hasn't come out yet. But really, we're just going to be watching the top 4. We're going to be watching the top 4. So it's going to be Dr. Stone. Well, you're not watching Dr. Stone. Sakamoto Days, we're going to watch. Apothecary Diaries Season 2 is coming out. Yeah! We're watching Apothecary Season. I'm doing fucking...
Why does there have to be a fucking...
updates.
Why does there have to be a fucking Blue Lock equivalent every season?
What do you mean?
Where I'm just talking about nothing every week.
We don't have to... Listen, you don't have to watch Apothecary Diaries, but I'm doing updates on it.
All right, do updates.
I'm doing fucking updates on a podcast. I fucking love... Okay, but we'll fine. We'll do updates
we'll do
on
that.
Sakamoto Days and Solo Leveling. And
Nocturne.
then Fate Strange Fake is coming out.
Is it... Do I need to watch the others to get it?
Fate Strange Fake? No, I don't think so.
All right, I'll check that out.
It's gonna be fucking sick. It already came out in Japan, and people were like, "Oh, it's like the best Fate thing we've gotten in years."
Nice.
So I am very excited. I don't think you need to watch it. I mean, most of the Fate things, are just like completely like separate
Nonsense.
stories, different universes, and I believe this is gonna follow that. But then there is Nocturne and Beastars.
Yeah. We'll talk about Squid Games. I'm sure we'll watch it.
I'm fucking gonna watch the shit out of it. I'm so excited. What a season we have ahead of us. Do you have a best boy?
Yes. My best boy is John Heller and Kayla Heller. I'm glad you asked.
Okay, God.
Remember like a year ago when I told you
You were
that...
Santa.
Well, I guess literally a year ago today I was Santa.
Yes.
But a year ago, someone from my Discord who's a huge fan of ours, Shroom.
I remember Shrew.
Yeah, Shroom.
Yeah.
He finally got married
Oh, cool.
to Kayla
Nice.
2 days ago.
Nice.
So I'm happy for that.
Oh, wow, Shroom. Way to get married on me and Dorothy's anniversary, dick.
So happy married.
Happy married.
Guys, happy married.
Happy married.
Hey.
And if you guys got married on Nick's anniversary as well, let us know so we can make you our best boy next week.
Yeah, he'll like that though.
Okay. Happy married, Shroom.
You want to hear my news?
Yeah. Bleach just announced that the finale to this third core of TYBW is going to be an hour long. Just crazy lit.
That's awesome.
I love Bleach.
I love that. I love an hour-long episode.
It truly feels like an hour long episode at the end of a season, and you're just like, this is like, you're giving me, like, technically they're giving you 2 extra episodes. But it's crazy. Like, it's just crazy that, like, 1, how good the season has looked, and 2, the fact that they're like, oh, also here's 2 additional episodes 2 weeks ahead of it, like ahead of time here. So Bleach TYBW is going absolutely fucking crazy. I love you, Studio Period. Bleach is the number 1 out of the big 3 right now. It's fucking awesome.
I mean, it just shows that the studio, like the producers, care, or at least giving the artists like enough freedom, because the studio would obviously rather 2 episodes go out so that it stays like in the cycle for longer than 1 bonus episode, like 1 big ass episode. You hear this a lot with like authors too. Like an author will often be like, I want to write like a 1,000-page book, and his publisher will be like, I'd rather sell 2 books though, so do 2 500-page books.
Yeah.
It's the same with shows where like I've heard studios or like writers and directors have to like kick and scream to get 1 super long episode opposed to 2 episodes. So it's cool that like, especially in the anime space where like the industry's fucked, that they're like, we are giving Bleach the care that you want.
Yeah. Like Studio Period wanted so much Bleach, like so much care to go to Bleach that they literally made a new division where it was like, this is for movie quality productions. And then the only thing that they produced is Bleach.
Yeah. Okay. I was on Anime News Network.
Yep.
And immediately stopped when I saw the title of a new manga that's come out.
Okay.
Titled. First off, what's the longest title you've ever heard in a manga or anime?
Oh, probably Dungeon Meshies. Is it wrong to try and pick up girls in a dungeon?
one's
There's
long.
also, I think the entirety. I don't like being hurt, so I maxed out my stats, or my defensive stats is another one.
Something about farming, right? I upgraded farming stats or whatever. Like
there's I went to a different world with my special cooking skill or something like that. Any isekai, really.
Okay, well, this one's called What Happened After My Place Got So Humid It Grew Magic Mushrooms and I Ate Them and Got Super Horny. That's like a tweet. That's more than a title.
That's a fucking it's just like a dumped tweet by like a fucking AI bot trying to blow up.
Yeah, so Anime News Network reviewed volumes 1 and 2 of that, apparently.
Oh, yeah? And what'd they say?
Oh, let me see. I just took a screenshot.
Oh, good. Great news, Dan.
Well, the news is that it exists.
I like that you're talking about magic mushrooms while rolling up a cocaine dollar bill over there.
That's me, baby.
Big drug guy.
I'm prepping for Santa.
Yeah.
For when I'm Santa.
For being a level 20 Fae and bringing presents to everybody's fucking house.
That's me. Arcane Echo, Arcane Victor Hot, Arcane Jace Hot. I'm swiping back. Santa One Piece.
Okay, yep.
Santa One Piece the pajama because I didn't specify.
Why do you have so many tabs open?
No, I'm going back. I don't do new tabs every time.
Okay.
Oh, yes, I'm 18 or over.
What? Oh, so it's a fucking hentai mag. Anime News Network is they literally reviewed every single one of the plus size elf episodes. They just have one dude. They have one dude who's just like, hey man, you go do the tits one.
They gave it overall a B+.
Wow.
Story B+, art A. And then in the final review, they go, story tries to be more than just an intense porn setup, relatable themes, strong, exaggerated art. Let me see.
We simply gotta read it, right?
Our story follows a 22-year-old gamer girl with no friends and barely enough money to afford food. One day, she takes a chance to try some mysterious mushrooms growing in her apartment, but she quickly learns that there's something weird about them. Yeah, they're growing in her apartment.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess, like, I understand being hungry enough to, like, eat the food that you make at home. I mean, it's kind of just like, have like a food garden.
Yeah. Not only does she start hearing the mushrooms talk to her, but she also feels her body getting hotter.
Naturally.
Maybe these mushrooms and their effects on her could be the secret to finally making new friends?
Oh, it's some kind of friends.
Or maybe eating these mushrooms will lead her down a more dangerous path. Sometimes it doesn't matter how detailed or long the title is. You shouldn't judge a book by its cover. I disagree.
Absolutely. The more words in the title, probably the worse the show is going to be.
It sounds like one of those wacky sex manga that has a crazy premise just for the sake of some really intense sex scenes. And while there is some truth to that argument, there is a lot hidden beneath the surface that implies a darker story. It feels like Karasu-chan started to write a crazy porn setup, but decided to make sure that it actually had a story with proper beginning, middle, and end. Wow. I forgot to read that one you were telling me about that'll get canceled.
What?
The one that's probably racist.
Oh, Drama Queen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if the third chapter dropped, actually. It might have, but I listen, like...
We'll cover that next week.
Yeah, we can read the third chapter here. I'll tell you if it's still trending in like the hottest manga here.
Well, while Nick does that, prep your love letter.
Yes, this brings us to our favorite part of the episode where me and Danny ask our live audience if they have any questions they would like for us to answer. So if you guys want to watch the podcast live, get it 2 days early, or get to ask a question to me and Danny that we have to answer live here on the podcast, you can become a member over on Patreon to support either Team Nick or Team Danny. And on top of all that, you get 2 additional hours of Nick and Danny time a month. Me and Danny are going to be watching Hex Girls, the Scooby-Doo movie, directly after this and doing some reactions. Rhiannon asks, is there any ships that you're a fan of that you believe 100% should have been canon?
You have one.
Oh, I have a big one here.
Who do you got?
All right, so I've been very vocal in my time as a YouTuber about the fact that I don't believe Sasuke deserves Sakura, and I stand by that fact. Sasuke does absolutely nothing and throughout the entire duration of a career as a character to ever deserve Sakura. He's abusive to her, both physically and mentally. He's never around after they get married. Pretty much the only physical contact we've ever seen the two of them have. Well, I guess we don't see it happen, but we know that they had to have some kind of coital compact to make Sarada in the first place. That is literally all we know about Sakura and Sasuke. That being said, there is a couple of arcs. There's a Sasuke Shinden light novel where we see Sasuke propose. It's kind of cute. There's been times where they've been established to be a good couple. However, while Sasuke was running around being a terrorist to Konoha, destroying the leaf, actively sowing despair into the lives of his loved ones, you know who was always right by Sakura's side, who was always willing to love her regardless of who she was or who she loved or what she brought to the story? Do you have a guess, Danny?
Kiba?
No. Rock Lee.
Oh, shit. I thought you were going to say Naruto.
Rock Lee deserved Sakura. Rock Lee is single right now, mind you, in Naruto, in Boruto. He has a son, Meadow Lee. Everyone assumes that 1010 is the mother. Fine, sure, whatever. I stand by it, I guess. But Rock Lee being single when he broke his back to bring flowers to Sakura in the hospital, and Sakura reciprocated the feelings, and he always established that he was in love with her. When the entire story was built around the fact that you need to work hard for the things that you need in life, and you need to bust your back and your hump to make sure that talent never shines over hard work, Rock Lee got ditched, not only to be single, but also to have no character development arc when he deserved more than Sasuke by a land mile, Sakura.
Yeah, it is utterly ridiculous that Sakura ends up with Sasuke despite him being an actual for real terrorist and never once showing her an ounce of affection.
No, and also just like the end of his story and Shippuden being like, sorry, Naruto. I guess you blew my arm off. I lost.
I'm so sorry about that.
I was like, I will be a silly.
Yeah.
And then Sakura was like, cool, I'll fix your arm, and apparently we're now married. And then he spends the entirety of the time there together as the Shadow Hokage, just not with her. You know who would have been with Sakura? Who would have been an attentive house husband? Rock Lee.
Rock Lee, for sure. No, Sasuke's attitude was 100% like, I'm sorry now. Get off of me, Sakura!
God, we'll have sex once.
Yeah.
We'll have it one time.
We'll have a single sex.
And if you get knocked up, cool. Keep the kid. I'm not raising it.
I've been a Zutara fan my whole life.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what?
Contentious.
As I've grown older, I see it.
They have so much chemistry. Zuko's just constantly with toxic people.
Yeah.
And they have so much in common. Their moment in the cave where like in the like stalagmite cave where he's like talking about how like even though, you know, like the Fire Nation like murdered her mother, like he gets an understanding of like how bad the Fire Nation has been to other people. She gets an understanding that he's just like a product of the war machine and that his scar is this like unignorable reminder that his father doesn't love him.
Yeah.
It's this thing that everyone constantly uses as like the first and main insult on him. And her being like, I can heal that. Like I'll use my magic water to heal that scar away. And then he takes her on a fucking assassination mission.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, even though they're the ones with the chemistry, at the end, Aang kisses her and then is just like, hey, thanks, buddy. By the way, try that shit again and I will genocide your whole race.
I will literally steal your bending and use it against you.
Yeah, like, God. Yeah, Zutara should happen.
As I've grown older, like back in the day, I was like, oh, Aang and Katara, that's the boy and the girl. They were always next to each other. They weren't related, so they should kiss. I think, honestly, it would have been more compelling. Man, I don't know. Like, if Aang doesn't end up with Katara, though, who does he end up with?
Well, that's what's most compelling is the idea that, like, Aang's whole journey is like, oh, like everyone keeps being like, you have to detach from your worldly desires. And he's like, but I want to schmooch Katara.
Yeah.
And the idea that he defeats Zuko's father, right? Like defies the whole world, which says that all Fire Nation people are evil and accepts Zuko into his heart and into his group. Like that's a huge move on Aang's part.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks Zuko's irredeemable. Aang gives Zuko the opportunity to be redeemed. And then if Zuko steals Aang's woman, what a great extra challenge for him as an avatar to be like, you know what? My mind needs to be on the world.
Yeah.
Like, I can be.
That's fair.
All that matters is that I'm friends with
an air
her.
monk and as the Avatar, objectively, yeah, his life probably shouldn't revolve around romance.
Yeah, his life belongs to the world as Avatar, which I know is like a cynical, defeatist ending. But I like the idea of him coming to like a really mature realization of like, as long as she's in my life, I'll be happy. Like, I don't need to kiss her.
Because it was always, I don't know, like, I guess, like, there was always, like, an admiration and an affection there, but I wouldn't have minded the story, ending with them being friends.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Good
point.
Anyway.
I like that one.
Thanks.
I like that we like each other's. All right, guys, that's all we got this week. Thank you so much for checking in for Otakus Anonymous. I've been NC Gamer, also known as the Weeb Commander. Go ahead and check out our new anime IRL video that's out right now with Dom Gabriel. It's a lot of fun. We test if he's a weeb, and Danny does a great job hosting, per usual.
Thanks. So good. I get to do it this Friday.
Yep, so good. You don't. I want to see what you look like, Taze.
I'll take the tase.
Yep.
Literally every other thing you suggested has seemed awful.
None fun.
Spicy? No thanks.
Nope.
Spicy eyes? Even more no thanks.
Well, we don't have to spray in the eyes.
Where do you get sprayed? It's literally the only place.
Is that really? That'd be the only place.
Unless we chicken out and spray like next to us and then just get asphyxiated, then it's nothing. No ballistics.
No ballistics is fair.
Yeah, right?
No ballistics is fair.
I just think it's unfair that the only reason Steven's not doing it
because he doesn't know dick about anime.
Because he doesn't know dick about anime.
And he also wouldn't accept
and he
any
doesn't
want to
do it.
Yeah, it's very, very fair. 9 bowls of ramen. We'll replace it with 9 bowls of ramen.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
Have one that just says Steven eats until he throws up. And as long as there's a 1 in 18 chance I can land on it,
I'll do
all of the
all
others.
the other ones.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. All right, guys. We love you so much. We'll see you next week. Goodbye. Mwah.